Welcome back. It's the Rugby League World Cup and the Aussies about to take on Fiji in their first game of their campaign. It's an important game here for Australia taking on Fiji, who are the underdogs. Let's get out to the commentary now, where Australia taking on Fiji.
Kami Kamitha just taking on those last bits of fluid. The interchanges heading for their places on the bench. Skipper James Tedesco for Australia. He was an Italy international at the last World Cup, but he is one of the global stars of the game. Fiji will know that he will bring plenty of threat. So Australia to get us underway. The moment of togetherness has been completed. And we are about to go. So much anticipation for this second game of the World Cup. The holders Australia back on the scene. Fiji looking to make it to a fourth semi-final in a row at the very least. So applause around the ground as Rugby League comes together at this Rugby League World Cup. And Headingley has a decent crowd within it tonight, looking to see what the world champions can bring on their return to the game. So Chris Kendall had to give us the thumbs up here. Likes of Jake Trebojevic ready to represent their country once again. James Tedesco punched the ball downfield. It will be Fiji who get first dibs of the ball. Alongside me tonight is Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown, Australia, the holders, want to make a statement in their first game back after 3 years without a test.
Yeah, they will want to make a statement, and Fiji just need to be patient with the ball early on, because, like you say, Australia want to make a statement. They'll want to get in front early and put some pressure on this Fiji side. The conditions are very similar to they were last week at Salford when Fiji played England, and I don't feel they, looked after the ball well enough there, Matt. And getting the kicking game and holding the ball will be crucial tonight if they want to push this Australian side all the way.
So Coruscant, it will be the metronome for this Fiji team. Neil Abave with that carry. It'll be Brandon Wakeham who boots it downfield. First test for Josh Adokar, and his handling stood up to it. And they won't want to give him any space to run it because he is electric.
No, that wasn't a bad start. The kick probably, wanted to be a bit longer, but they'll be happy with that. And I really like the chase and what they're doing now, back in the defence, as a line. You can't go down there in ones and twos against the likes of Adokar and Latrell Mitchell. They're too quick and too good. So going down a line like they did is a very good sign.
Crichton with a big carry. On the back of that, they come bombing forward again. Tamalangi trying to get the Kangaroos on the front foot here. Scooped up by Valentine Holmes. Australia have burned through the tackles. All about the kick now from Daly Cherry Evans. Gives it some airtime. And at the back, Sinia Taruva, who's got big raps. The Penrith fullback. And the next one off the production line, which is, as we've seen with their premiership success, has been very successful. And they've got themselves a penalty.
Yeah, they've got themselves a penalty, and it's on that left edge. They've got two of the big hitters, Meka Sivo, Viliami Kikau over there on that left edge. And if they are going to have any joy tonight, I'm sure them two will be involved.
So a chance for Fiji to march the Kangaroos back downfield. Well, we saw earlier, Kevin, that the kind of perceived wisdom was shattered quite early on, wasn't it? Are we going to see similar tonight? It would take something special to break down the Kangaroos, you'd imagine, but they've got some firepower.
Oh, they've got some firepower all over the field, and if they can get some field position like they've got here and turn that into points, look, they've got to be clinical every time they get a chance. They need to take it. and conversely they need to be very good defensively. But Fiji are a very talented side, Matt, so yeah, early on they just need to stay patient, keep the territory going and keep this possession. It's a good start.
Coruscant working that ball to Leo Levave, bounces into the hands of Kikau. Such a weapon on that left side for Penrith. Can he replicate that at international level here? Taken into contact that time by King Vuniaiwa. Threaded through into backfield, the chase is on! Fiji might just have hit the front here! Now Henningly, what a chase into the corner! Semi Valemi, I think it was who got there first and then pointed for the try! Semi Valemi, who's been exceptional for Canberra this season, has given Fiji the lead!
Wow. And it was Happy Coruscant's deception around the ruck. He looked like he was going to go open, and he came back to the short side and just found Mokadrike, and he just summed it up perfectly and put it on the toe. As we see now, you can see James Tedesco, the fullback, the number one for Australia, is just too far, gives himself too much to do, and that's a perfectly weighted kick. And like you say, Valime gets there first, and what a start. This is what we said they needed to do. Be clinical. They was clinical. They've used that possession perfectly well. Fantastic start on that left edge for Fiji.
And Australia shell-shocked behind their own posts. So Brandon Wakeham, and that wasn't in the script, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the kicking game, it stopped, but well, it started again now raining. I think it's going to be on and off all night, Matt. So the kicking game, especially when it's on the floor, is crucial. You know, you can slide in, and just like that, though, you put it in. Worst case scenario, you come up with a dropout, repeat set. But that's perfect play from Fiji. A little bit different, kicking early on the tackle count. Just caught James Tedesco, the Australian captain. Number one, though, you can see he's talking to his teammate, but he was out of position a little bit there. Gave himself too much to do.
They haven't had a warm-up, now are the Kangaroos, and they find themselves a score down. And a kick to come here from Brandon Wakeham. Tough one out on the touchline for the Bulldogs half. And he scrapes across the face. And it's a 4-point lead for the Batty, and they'll take that.
Yeah, they'll take that. You know, no one would have expected that scoreline, you know, after 5 minutes. So, you know, not only the fact that they've scored the try, the way they've had the possession in the territory too, they'll get the ball back again. You know, the rain's really coming down now, Matt, so it's important, really important, that we get through this set of 6 and put another good kick in on the end of it.
What a test of Australian character. They've certainly got heaps of talent. And these players will have been battle-hardened from origin, from the toughest competition in domestic rugby league in the NRL. But at the moment they trail, and it's Fiji who are on the front foot.
Wait, what we get? Go, 1 second about 1.
Coruscant, Vuniaiwa, pummeling away at the green and gold.
Go, 2, good work, 2.
Leo Levave, who's been busy early doors.
Wait, go, 3.
Working over to that left edge again. Kick out. It's probably his third or fourth carry in this game. He's very, very important. He's the leader of this team, especially in the pack. You know, they keep going over there and trying to get him involved. It's good play from Fiji.
You might have noticed some unorthodox numbering on the Australia side. Everyone has to have a squad number these days, so they can have their names on the back of their shirts. Australia's side, the numbers are selected, the lowest meaning you've played the most games for your country. And then those who haven't had a cap are in numerical order based on alphabetical order. So James Tedesco as the captain gets 1, but then the most experienced Daly Cherry Evans is wearing 2, and so on and so forth. So Australia, Ben Hunt, finds Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. Such a wrecking ball for Queensland and for his club, the Gold Coast Titans. Hunt, Cameron Murray onto Trebojevic. Fiji absorbing the pressure. Dink over the top. Into backfield that time. Fielded by those Fijians.
Move! Go away!
Despite the pressure being applied by Cameron Munster that time.
That's a fantastic kick and chase by Australia. It was a poor kick from Fiji, but it was a great defensive set. Cam Munster's not really got into this game, but he just put his left boot on that, and he's just turned the pressure right up on Fiji and Kevin Nguama.
Yeah, they're shooting off the line. Good line speed from the Kangaroos, although Fiji looking to shift that ball wide and taking it into contact that time. Thundering hooves of those Fijian playing wide. That was Fasua Maliawi. Bounces back into the defensive line. And then Cameron Wakeham has to kick from midway inside his own half. And Australia will see that as a bit of a winker.
Yeah, and it's King Vuniyayawa who's on the end of that, and he's struggling to get in the line. And I think the Fijians now are just feeling the pace a little bit. Australia are just settling down. You know, they've lost a lot of shape early on in this game. They've just said their outside backs can get in, but now Jay Trbojevic and his teammates are just starting to pull some shape and really testing the edge defence of Fiji.
Out it goes the way of the Kangaroos here. And pardon the pun, a bit of a jump start for them.
Yeah, this is big. This is massive now in terms of the context of the game. It's important that Fiji defend the line and don't let the Australians, who will definitely have some trick plays off a set restart, you know, up the sleeve. They'll pull something here that'll test Fiji, and it's very important that on the edge they defend together.
So Latrell Mitchell, a real skillster, Angus Crichton, runs into a bit of traffic. Nice little offload. Australia keeping the ball alive here. Cherry Evans as that Fijian line looks a bit scrambled for a moment there.
Kick out didn't miss.
Wait! Go on.
Hunt. Fasua Maliawi. They're in range.
Lamar! Wait!
Narrow head of options for Hunt. At the back it goes, Cherry Evans. Big ball wide. Plenty for Talangi to do, and he's folded up that time. Cherry Evans. Hunt again. Fasua Maliawi. Plunges into that Fijian line. Kangaroos have tackles left in the bank. They certainly do now, because they've got another set of 6 here for a ruck infringement. Shipped along the line. Trying to get Jeremiah Nanai in. 17 for the Cowboys this season in the NRL. Hunt probing and scheming. Fiji get numbers into the tackle.
Short on the right. Cherry Evans wasn't happy there, Matt.
So Hunt takes it into the line. Murray. Bit of a show and go that time for Munster. But the Fijians ready. Having to take plenty of punishment here. Fasua Maliawi again. Hunt to Cherry Evans. Can they open him up? Tedesco out wide. What a try saver that is it? Super work from Fiji. Scramble after scramble. And they shut down the play.
Yeah, and it was Mako Sivo who came out the tackle. From first look, it looked like he'd scored to me. But it's tremendous defence. They're just backing off, and I thought they might have been in trouble here. And it's Tuilangi, he goes high. He just turns him round, and he is his short. It's great defence. I think there may be a penalty, Matt. He does hit him high, and the ball is short.
Yeah, desperation from Fiji. So Makasivo.
He's saying something different there.
And we're just waiting here as Taolangi back up on his feet. So we're going to see the incident again. So Taolangi is one of those that strikes top of the shoulder and glides up.
I think he's hit him high. I think to the letter of the law he's hit him high. I don't think it's malicious or dirty, but yeah, he's hit him high. I thought, you know, that's when they're backing off here and Tedesco's going at them. I thought, you know, Tuilangi will get in the corner, he'll slide in. But that just shows the strength of the Fijian defence and the desperation, you know, to keep the clean sheet so far.
Ball is not grounded. We have a decision. Chris, you're going to stick with your penalty, mate.
So no try, there's the confirmation. Chris Kendall has awarded a penalty here. High shot. Maybe they were looking there as well, whether that might have been a penalty, Striker.
Yeah, and I think it's the right decision. I think it was an eye tackle, but yeah, I don't think, he would have scored. There was defenders there, so this will be the fourth set now on the line. So if they can defend this, they'll get a real big boost.
Travojevic setting a platform.
Wait, one.
Hunt onto Murray, now Fasua Maliawi once again.
Two, open square.
Being unloaded on this Fijian defence.
Wait, go two.
High effort so far. Out the back, Cherry Evans, so they came hunting for him. That might lift the gap, and throwing it straight to Mike Asivo. But the counter is swiftly snuffed out.
Yeah, and it looked like they was, they just shot out the line, and Cherry Evans, with his dancing feet, he got past the first defender and looked to find the pass. I think kick-out's not
Scruffy play the ball, wasn't it? So Australia will get the ball back here.
Huge amount of pressure, but yeah, they just looked like they shot out the line and it was going to open up, and Tuilagi could get some space, but he couldn't find the pass there. But defensively, they're putting themselves under pressure again, Fiji.
Captain's challenge. Fiji challenging the ruling of a knock-on.
Just looking to determine if there's any ruck interference from Australia. Viliami kick out, loses possession of the ball. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Thanks, mate. It's going to be a lateral scrum. Where would you like it?
So
No more
Australia will get the
challenges for
scrum.
Fiji, mate.
Yeah, it's an early challenge too, Matt. So they've got no challenges left up the sleeve. And I think it's a crazy one asking for that. That's just a, if there was a video in the dictionary that says knock on, play the ball, that's it.
Yeah.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Fiji can't afford to be coughing up possession there either. So 4 points to nil. Fiji still lead. With the Australians growing in influence in this game. Went from the base of the scrum.
Thanks, mate.
Moved on by Munster. Latrell Mitchell trying to get on the outside. Almost an offload for his great pal Josh Addo-Carr. Munster finds Hunt. Now Fasua Maliawi again. His GPS is going to be buzzing.
Busy boy.
Pounded the yards out for Australia here. Munster out the back. Latrell Mitchell slips the tackle. Oh, the offload is loose. Fiji get it back.
Yeah, when we talk about patience, at the minute, Australia are just looking to find that killer pass, early on in the sets. Every time Latrell Mitchell gets the ball, he looks dangerous. He's beaten Kevin Nguama a couple of times, as we see on the replay here. Number 8, Latrell Mitchell, just looks to find the offload. And it's great defence again, great scramble defence from this Fiji side.
Not seeing much of a short kicking game from Australia yet either.
Well, they've not really got to the end of the sets. They've either had a penalty or they've passed it early. So at the minute, that's where Cherry Evans and Munster are very, very good. And they've also got Hunt at 9. So they probably just need to be a little bit more patient.
Fiji. Midway inside their own half. Kami Kamitha. Wrecking ball stuff from him as Crichton clings on. Stood behind the ruck. Oh, he's lost that. As Api Coruscant.
And this was the problem against England last Friday. At the start of the game, it was very evenly matched, but they did spill a lot of ball, and then they backed that up with some poor kicking. And again, Api Coruscant, he goes in. He's probably a bit harshly done to. There's a player in the ruck, but he's got to get that skill right. If he's going to give this side a chance, they've got to start, completing a little bit higher. Well, a lot higher.
Josh Addo-Carr. For those Kangaroos. Hunt. Fasua Maliawi again.
Make sure we get back. 2. Move. Happy wait.
Trying to scatter defenders.
Go to
Hunt. Slipping away goes Murray. Offloads. Tedesco trying to take on the broken field. Runs down a cul-de-sac. Quarter of an hour gone. Australia yet to post any points. Murray to Djokovic. That's a settler from him. Hunt onto Murray. Now Cherry Evans. Good ball movement here. They split the line. Oh, that's brilliant. Jeremiah Nanai takes his scoring form into the Kangaroos side. And we're all square.
Yeah, and it was lovely play, lovely patient build-up. You know, Trbojevic laid the line on the left-hand side, and then they went early shift, and through the hands of Cherry Evans, he just passed it on early to Nanai. The Fiji defenders were sliding off, and he just cuts back off his right foot and goes round the fullback. That's what Jeremiah Nanai has been doing in the NRL all year. He's a fantastic try scorer. He's such a threat with the ball. You know, when he showed his athleticism there, Matt.
Yeah, beautiful set-up play. And he left Sania Taruva clutching at straws that time.
Yeah, and Kickout's been putting Cherry Evans under a lot of pressure, and he goes again to get him, but he doesn't sink in that time. That's the crucial part. And Nanai gets some space, and it almost opens a gap, opens a triangle with the defence. He has to defend on his own, and he's just too good there, Nanai. Smart play from Cherry Evans.
We're filming with the Kangaroos earlier in the week, and he was jokingly asked to describe his style of play. And he said, try scoring machine, and then burst out laughing. But it's a fair assessment so far, isn't it?
It's probably a bit of jest in there, but he is a try scoring machine, especially for a back rower. He chips in for a lot of crucial tries. He's done that all year, and he's got over for his first in the World Cup. Crucial part of the game.
So Valentine Holmes, right in front of the posts, slots it through, and the Kangaroos go in front here. They've had to be patient, but the points have come.
Yeah, the points have come, but you probably say, no, it's off the back of the house. As we see this again, it's the early ball and then the right foot. And you just see Mokodriki, just the number 6 for Fiji. He's just stepping out. He's just moving his weight to the outside shoulder and that right foot step. But that's where Fiji have just invited this very, very talented Australian side in the half over again. And it's only for Australia's lack of patience, you know, that it's only 6 points. So they need to clean that up, Fiji.
So a debut score for Jeremiah Nanai, who is desperate to pledge his commitment to the Kangaroos along with his club teammate Murray Taulagi. And Mal Meninga has been rewarded for his faith, and Australia get a penalty here as well. Nanai involved in everything at the moment.
Yeah, I think Kickout's involved as well. I think he probably wants his challenge back and have it again. It was good physical defence, but this is exactly what you can't do to the best team in the world. Invite them in your half, give them a set restart after they've scored a try. You know, confidence-wise and energy-wise, they'll just be going through the roof.
And they just lost another 10 for dissent, for chatting back. They're compounding the errors at the moment. Suamaliaui with a bit between his teeth.
Hold.
Patrols at the play of the ball. Murray bites into the line.
He's looking dangerous the longer this game goes.
Scooped up by Hunt. Dropped off that time by Munster. Crichton drifting across field. Tedesco just putting that Fiji defence under duress. Options either side here for Hunt. Murray, late ball playing there that time. Trying to get Val Holmes forward. Inside to the post again. Hunt. The chase is on. It's been tapped back that time by Fiji.
So knock on. Yeah.
So knock on, says Chris Kendall.
I think that's the luxury Mal Meninga's got. They're putting Ben Hunt into the hooking position, the number 9 for Australia. Well, he's not the number 9 for Australia, he's the number 3 for Australia. But the hooking position, and you know, he just went to first receiver there and put an accurate pinpoint kick for Latrell Mitchell and Josh Adokar. They didn't come down with it, but it's another warning sign for Fiji.
In terms of where Australia turned the ball over, not a bad place, 10 out. They can look to apply a bit of squeeze here. So Australia feed that time. Daly Cherry Evans. Neat footwork. Hunt with options. For Suamaliaui, couldn't take it. Comes loose. That time, the timing not quite there, Kevin.
Yeah, we spoke before the game what the Fiji need to do, you know, to put Australia off, and they need to disrupt, and that's what they're doing at the minute. You know, sometimes it's not conventional, but there's a lot of effort and aggression, and the skill there from Hunt. Well, that'd probably been his 20th carry, Fassima Walawi, and he just couldn't take that ball in. And it's imperative now that Fiji get to a kick the ball into the corner, and just get a little breather.
So away can feeds it. Coruscant moves it out. Australia quick off the line.
Move, Angus!
To quell the Fijian threat this time. Nagama.
Move, Joyce!
Quiet with the ball so far. As he takes it in.
So one-on-one.
Oh, Australia have come up with the ball. Josh Wally was the initial carry in that set. Highly rated rooster.
Just comes up with good players, Cam Munster. At important times, you know, he just finds something different. Very talented player.
Cherry Evans onto Hunt. Plays before the line this time for Suamaliawi again. Chalking up the minutes. And the meters.
Move, bang! Till we don't go early. Wait, go.
Big shape on this left-hand side. Taken in that time by Munster. Now Tedesco. Crichton was the short ball. Nice offload. Tedesco battling to keep hold of it. Now Munster. Australia so close to the line here. Fiji stretched. As Australia pile forward again through Crichton. Piniaiwa off, Nakumbawai on. Out the back, Trebojevic. Taken short at the line that time by Munster. Trying to get his man away. And they might be in again here.
It's the try-scoring machine again. Jeremiah Nanai.
So he says no try, Chris Kendall, on field decision. Over to Grant Atkins.
Okay, you like coming to last tackle, right? Video referee director, just need to see the ball grounded either short or on the line. At this stage, I think I can see it short there. I just need to see another available angle. The momentum of the tackle is finished. The ball is grounded, which constitutes the tackle being complete. We have a decision. We've got no try, mate.
We're going, yeah, hand over. Yeah.
So no try. Jeremiah Nanai wasn't far away. Sheer weight of numbers in the end, wasn't it, from Fiji?
Yeah, it was sheer weight of numbers and sheer weight of possession that they're getting so close to that line now, Australia. And if Fiji are going to get anything from this game, they just need to learn from their mistakes, keep hold of the ball for a couple of sets and get to the end of the kick. I think even the groundsman would want that, because it's all been on this left-hand side as we look at it. You know, the territory and the possession is so heavy in Australia's favour now.
Move! Wait, Tina! Go on, good.
So Fiji coming out their own end of the field.
Move!
But again, that line speed from Australia trying to suffocate them back in their own end.
Go free.
Here come Fiji again. Edging downfield. Somaliau with the tackle and a set restart. Another set of 6 here. Too long in the tackle that time from Australia. And they're getting the breakout here. Again, the squeeze being applied. It was Kami Kamitha that time. That in by Tanyana Sandrugu. Coruscant scoping out the Australia defence that time. And final winner with Penrith. They'll hit that short side again. Nice hands to kick out. Oh, he was walloped.
He's come up second best to Alanga.
But here come Fiji. Wakeham, good kick into the in goal. It bounced off the post pad and straight to James Tedesco.
Well, in terms of energy and effort, you can't complain with what Fiji. And on that, oh dear.
Josh Oka! Yes, he's got support from Munster. He may not need him. Josh Adokar hits the afterburners for Australia. What a length of the field reply that is. And Josh Adokar rips his way through the Fiji cover and extends the Australia lead.
Wow. And what you've got to feel sorry for Fiji. You know, the first time they get good field position, the first time they put a great kick in, you know, they squeeze the line-up, everything that you want. They squeeze the line-up in the wet. They're ready to get the baseball bats out and bash this Australian attack. And then they're too smart. They pass the ball, they come round, and Latrell Mitchell just finds the pass. And the fastest man in a rugby league jersey at this World Cup, nearly 40 kilometres an hour he clocked up in the NRL this year, just races away. And once he gets clean away like that, no one can get near him. But yeah, I feel sorry for Fiji. They did everything right. They've just clocked off. They've been too aggressive. The wingers just lost sight of Adokar, and they're just too smart. But that's why they're the world champions, Matt.
Yeah, he just sidesteps in here to Ruba, didn't he? Josh Adokar hits the gas, and there will be some concern though, because as you said, Murray Taulagi before came off second best in that tackle, and he still doesn't look good over on that far side.
No, he doesn't. He flew in and he hit Kikau, who's like a brick wall. He's a giant of a man. I think he's going to have to offer. I think he's got a split on his eye, go off for the head injury, so that'll mix things up.
So Val Holmes says thank you very much, an easy two. And suddenly the lead stretching out for Australia here. So interchanges made. Sandrubu coming on. But it's the alertness of the Australians here.
Well, that's it. And alertness comes when you're full of energy, and energy comes when you've had all the ball, and that's the opposite of what Fiji have had. Fiji have had no ball. So yeah, they're full of effort and endeavour, but the smarts has gone there. They've just tried too hard. They've clocked off, and Adokar just too quick. What a sight. See him running away.
Josh Adokar, big puff of the cheeks that time. He's taking the oxygen back in on the back of that one. A couple of changes for Australia, of course. The Queensland combo of Patrick Carrigan and Ruben Cotter are on.
Up the other way, go on.
Crichton. Angus Crichton, that is, in the Australia jersey. And Taulagi off. And Jack Whitenon, on the bench for his utility value, and Dally, should I say, a Clive Churchill medal winner at one point, wasn't he? A Dally M medal winner as well.
Yeah, solid player, can play everywhere, half-back, full-back, anywhere in the three quarters. I really love what Australia do when they get the ball. No one's having a rest, no one's sat down, you know, behind the ruck, you know, breathing heavily. They're all on the next player, they're all in movement. Mal Meninga and Adrian Lam there, his assistant coach, have definitely got, you know, this buy-in from this side, and they're playing fantastically well. You know, they're being a little bit more patient now, and I expect them to start exposing this tired Fiji defence.
Wait here.
Yeah,
Wait, Jay.
and Lam, Adrian Lam, that is, sat on the stands here at Leeds. The rain still tipping down. They're up for the wet weather football at the moment. Nakumba Wyatt was that time. Thundered in by Kami Kamitha. Fiji looking to get back.
It's a big shot, he's feeling that one.
He got clobbered, didn't he? Here comes Viliame Kikau. And Australia wary of the threat, commit numbers to that tackle. A little bit of movement of the footwork that time from Taruba, who's coming to the line. Last one here. Kick goes up from Mothidrike into that corner, and it was well taken in the end by Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, and you can just see now the winger for Fiji, the number 5 on his back. He's just keeping his eye on Josh Adokar and Latrell Mitchell, because they're spread across the full length of the field. You know, Fiji want to tighten right up, and it's Veliki Japani it is, he's just got to keep his eye on that winger now.
Yeah, you often as a team, as a defender, will try and squeeze and pin a team in a corner, but you can't do that with Australia.
No, they're too smart, and they're holding shape really well. They're holding shape, the forwards are in now, and this is the next test for Fiji. You You know, Kamika and the players like him in the middle of the field, they're doing big numbers. But Australia have rolled all their packs, so they've got fresh bodies coming at them now.
Yeah, Cotter and Carrigan. As Daly Cherry Evans looks to find some ground underneath it. Taruva, and they're smart back into the attack here, Fiji, but quite a few of their big forwards still ambling back towards the line.
Yeah, you just look at the Fiji pack now. They're still in the Australian half, so the wingers and the outside backs are doing it tough for the Fijians. But it just looks like their energy's about to go. You know, Kamika, who we mentioned previously, he needs to really step up now. He's one of the big names in this Fiji side. He needs to find some energy and lead this pack forward.
Josh Wong that time with some neat footwork. Kamika again, whose energy levels must be wavering. Coruscant, Taruva, now Wakeham takes it into the line out the back, looking to shift it here to Kikau. Oh, he passed that a little bit early, didn't he? But Bellamy's tried to make something of it. That's one here for Fiji. Wakeham's kick. Carr's had to come in. He's got the hooves thundering into him, and it was Kevin Nagama who actually put the tackle in. Australia having to play out from their own end here.
Yeah, Fiji really improved in the kicking game. They're putting it in the corners now, and it took a little bit of excellence from Australia to get out last time. And once again, Fiji now can just get off the line and get stuck in and get some retribution back at this Australian side.
Carrigan this time. Had a wow of an Origin series. Oh, he's knocked on.
Here we go.
Kamika that forces the air, he punches the air, and Fiji get a sudden shot of electricity and a shot of energy here.
Yeah, that's why we said it's so crucial to get behind your kicking game. When it's greasy like this, you know, he just slips. You know, it's Patrick Carrigan as he tries to play the ball. Very similar to Kickouts earlier on in the half. And now this is a massive, massive chance for Fiji if they can pour some points.
So they're ready to feed the scrum here. The Batty. Just looking to see which side they might favour here. It's the left that they're going to attack here. Mothi Drinkey floats one wide. It's opened up maybe here for Sivo. Good scramble though from the Kangaroos.
Jack Whiten, was it?
Come on, giving away a set restart, but certainly better than giving away a try. Taliena Sadrungu gets it away. Now Wong. Compared to Boyd Cordner, which is esteemed company by Gus Gould, the Roosters youngster. Nangama into Taruva. Wakeham. Now they've hit it up again through Sadrungu and an offload, and it's Nakumbuai. That'll certainly make Australia work here. Coruscant looks to kick and then throws to Kikau, but he's wrapped up that time. The Australian side under threat, and Wakeham was fingertips away from giving Fiji a second try, and Valentine Holmes is looking for a quick tap here.
Oh wow, happy Coruscant, great kick, bit of execution as we see on the replay. He gets it through. Under Wakeham, he gets his hands to the ball. The desperation, he just can't put the ball down. Big chance missed from Fiji.
Tui Kamikamithe's finally made way, and Kingbuni Aiwa is back on. Australia ploughing forward now through Ruben Cotter.
Move, man! Brendan, wait.
Hunting at acting half. Munster plays into the line and takes the contact. Perhaps setting up for something here. Murray engages. Hunt pops up to Tedesco, drifting across field here. Still going, James Tedesco. They'll always be wary of the threat, won't they? Last tackle for Australia. Cherry Evans meshes the kick. It's a great jump from Munster, but he couldn't take it in.
He's not hanging around. Munster, it was very similar to the Wakeham effort. He got his hands to it. If he catches it, he scores a try. Just for the Australians at the minute, things just aren't clicking, and Fiji are just hanging. The longer they can hang in this game, you know, the more chances that Australia don't take like that. You know, we're going to invite this Fiji side back into it.
Yeah, it's been a real contest, that's for sure. Certainly no blowout scores here.
You just worry the energy that they've had to, you know, expend just defending the line over and over again. And coming up with errors like this, this is a byproduct of all that defence. You know, Coruscant in the middle of the field, the toughest area of the field. You know, he's not a big man, so the energy that he's had to put in, he's come up with a couple of errors. But he looks so dangerous at the other end of the field.
So was that an obstruction from Wakeham? Is he just standing his ground?
No, I think it's just good. It's called escort defence. You're just escorting the runner away. As you see again. No, it's just dropped his hull. Is there called? There's no challenge on that one.
Such a level of intensity that Fiji have been playing at here. It was bound to take his toll. Munster almost slipping away from Wong that time. Rumbled in again by Carrigan. Finds his front. Great opportunity here for the Kangaroos. Murray. Unrelenting carry from him. Harry Grant is on for Australia. Now into the hands of Munster for Crichton. Oh! Did he get that down? He celebrates as if he has. And Chris Kendall confirms it. Angus Crichton got on the outside shoulder of his man. Too powerful. And Australia get their reward.
Yeah, it's so dangerous, this left edge. Munster, Crichton. And Latrell Mitchell, he's the key person. When you look at this replay back, you know, you'll see the danger out the back. It's Latrell Mitchell. You see him there, the number 8. He just makes Viliki Japani bite on him, and it opens that gap for Angus Crichton, who gets the ball down under intense pressure from Brandon Wakeham. But as we look now, we see at the back of the screen, you just see Latrell Mitchell, and it doesn't look like he's doing much, but it's just keeping Viliki Japani and Kevin Nguama from jamming in on Angus Crichton. You see Kevin Nguama drift out, you see Viliki Japani come up, and Brandon Wakeham's isolated.
More things they would have worked on. The sharpness of the Kangaroos when they get into their groove, and that's just what we've seen there. Angus Crichton finishing off from Mal Meninga's side. First try for him in the green and gold, and Valentine Holmes, you know, has been successful so far from his 2 attempts. Has another chance to pop over to on this increasingly slick track here at Headingley in Leeds. Cricket ground over on the far side. Probably a popular place to visit for some of those Australia players. Valentine Holmes then clips it through and squeezes it just inside the post.
Yeah, he wasn't a goal kicker in the NFL, but he's definitely a good goal kicker in the Rugby League. Fantastic player, Valentine Holmes, but it's just what we sort of sensed. Australia, you know, had the ascendancy, and it just looks like Fiji are hanging on at the minute. They just need to get to half-time and take a breather, Matt, because you said there won't be blowouts, but the way they've expended so much energy, if they keep inviting them back in with all these knock-ons and errors and poor play the balls, then it could well be a blowout.
So Wakeham hoists it. Scooped up by the Kangaroos. And Ruben Cotter looking to get them on the front foot here. This cracking mullet. And Patrick Carrigan, another member of the mullet gang in this Australia side. They've got some throwback hairstyles, it's fair to say, Kevin Brown.
Do anything for a mullet like that.
I'd just be glad to have the hair, personally. Grant finds Murray, and he's starting to weave his magic, isn't it?
Yeah, he's too quick. He's very, very quick now. Harry Grant.
Grant almost prizing his way through. Last tackle, they've got a chance of something here. Crichton pushes back on the inside to Jerry Evans. Sidestepping their tackles. Actually turns it over.
Cameron Munster's struggling in back plays. As Harry Grant set off then and went through the line, there was a collision, and Cameron Munster in back play. You see him limping next to the referee. There he is, the number 7. He was just limping away. He got himself off the floor. He's getting himself back in the line, but that'll be a worry for Australia.
Whiten is can fill in there, but then you're leaving a big gap out wide, aren't you? So quite a few interchangeable players, but
Good shot.
Give them too many options in terms of workarounds. So Montadrique that time. And the ball comes loose. Here goes Harry back. This is the incident. There was almost a hit on suspicion there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Coruscant. And that's what you've got to do against Australia. It's not legal, but there's that many bodies flying through the line. I don't think he meant to hit him without the ball. He genuinely thought he was going to get the ball. There's that many options when it gets quick like that, and that what Harry Grant did there is what he's very good at and why he's been brought on the field at this late stage of the half.
Chris Kendall. Who is to carry on Montadrique. Losing the ball in the contact area that time. And Australia, Tedesco's pulled around to this left-hand side. That's always an indicator, but didn't quite get the play right, although he's evaded a couple of challenges there. Grant. On to Carrigan. Losing carry from him. Australia looking to make another dent here. The back end of this first half. Slipped through that time by Crichton. He's having plenty of joy. Down this left-hand side, and then knock on at the play the ball by Australia.
Turnover, 10 metres out, incredibly the ball.
Yeah, Latrell Mitchell, he would have scored. I think someone pushed the defender over too, so I think it would have been a penalty if not a knock-on. A little bit scruffy end to the half there from Australia. And Fiji will be happy with that. They'll go into half-time now at 18-4 down.
The hooter sounds. And that will bring to an end. An engaging first half. Fiji hit the front early doors, but Australia have shown their class since to work their way back into this contest. The world champions against the three-time semi-finalists. After a bit of a scare early doors, Angus Crichton coming up with a big score before half-time. The Kangaroos are up and running, but Fiji remain a threat.
Yes, Australia, after a nervous start, Fiji first on the board, but it was the Aussies starting to dominate that game as the half went on. They had all the possession, and there was one big moment, Corey, where Addo-Carr ran the length of the field. That changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah, it certainly did. At that point, they had 73% of the possession, the Aussies, and hadn't really come up with it. And off the back of that, Fiji go up the other end. Latrell Mitchell understands that the winger had come in, finds his winger in Josh Addo-Carr, the Fox, the fastest man on the field for the Australians, who was able to sort of race away and score a try and really sort of put a bit of a gap between the Australians and the Fijians, who at that stage were well within the game. They have had a terrific half of football, a few errors from the Fijians, but Josh Addo-Carr able to extend the gap there to go into the half-time break, 18 points to 4.
Yeah, the Aussies had all the possession at the back end of that first half. Addo-Carr coming up with that big play. We're going to get to a break. We'll have all the first half reaction after it, but don't forget later today, the career-defining rematch for Australia's George Kambosos as he fights for revenge and all the belts against undisputed world champion Devin Haney. Scan the QR code on your screen to watch it live and exclusive on Main Event, or head to tickettech.com.au for tickets now.
Here we go again. Today, live from Melbourne's Rod Laver Arena, the rematch. The undisputed lightweight world champion Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. Humbled, but never broken. Thought he was ferocious before? Get out of here. This was supposed to be Kambosos' homecoming party. That smiling assassin had other ideas. Every moment since, he's been driven by revenge, by pain, by the relentless pursuit to prove he's the best in the world again. But this is the guy with all the belts. The youngest undisputed champion of the four-belt era. There's a reason they call Devin Haney the Dream. This undefeated American became a global superstar with a 12-round masterclass of speed, precision, movement. What about that jab? Today, live from Melbourne, the career-defining rematch for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. This is payback. And the only place you'll see it your undisputed home of big-time boxing, Main Event.
Who wins the Big Bash?
We do. Of course. We've got the best attack. We're the biggest hitters.
We are guns in the field.
Here come the champs.
With every game of the WBBL and no lag breaks during play, you won't miss a thing on Fox Cricket.
Do any of these bets look familiar to you, mate? A tote bet. Odds and evens. Really? A massage voucher.
Oh, yeah, that's mine. Sorry.
I've got 10 more right here. Do I need to go on?
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I've already downloaded the Sportsbet app. I love it. It won't happen again.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's definitely expired, but I reckon I can get them to accept it.
BS responsibly with Sportsbet.
There's only ever two you meet. One who keeps things nice and neat. Silence is their quiet treat. Then there is a different beast, marching to a savage beat. Followers left in dusty heaps. These ones leave the rules in pieces. The next generation Ford Ranger Raptor.
Want to build a new home but need to move in now? We have fixed price completed homes ready to buy with premium inclusions in the best locations. Get the Edgewater Homes Everyday Advantage. Buy a completed home and move in now. edgewaterhomes.com.au.
Here's to the straggly ones. The first ones. The, hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red and grey ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Right now at Snooze, buy any size mattress and only pay the price of a single. Plus, save up to 40% off bed frames and 25% off Snooze branded bedding and linen. Hurry, sale is now on.
Amazing what a little snooze can do.
And go. Perfect release from the top of the key. One step closer to the big ring.
Aussies need to keep going their own way. They can't afford not to. They're saving lives on our beaches, inspiring the next generation, and nurturing and protecting the ones we love the most. That's why at Isuzu Ute, we offer a 6-year warranty, up to 7 years roadside assist, and up to 7 years cap price servicing.
Time is the most valuable thing we have, and the earlier you start investing with Vanguard, the more you'll have in the long run for what matters to you. Vanguard, investing in us.
Welcome back to the Rugby League World Cup here on Fox League. Brandy, take us through the halftime.
Yeah, what a stunning start by the Fijians. Great kick here from Moka Grenke, their 5'8". Just was able to get it through the defensive line. Tedesco beaten to the ball by Semi Valame. Very dangerous situation there too. Short dead ball lines. Australia spent the next 10 minutes parked inside the Fijian 20 and really couldn't come up with something. It took the footwork of Jeremiah Nanai to beat 3 defenders to score their opening try. I thought that opening 15 minutes, Corey's already gone through the Fox try, which was stunning. After Fiji threatened again off another grubber kick, went very close to scoring. They just got a little bit too enthusiastic defensively and trying to ram home the advantage they had in field position and left Josh Adokar unopen. Latrell threw a great pass, realised that there was space on the outside. I think for the Australians, and it did look a little bit rusty, but it's a very hard place inside the 20, and they spent 3 or 4 sets inside the 20 before that Nanai try. It's a very hard place on the field to get your rhythm. And it was obvious that this side hadn't played together, so that made it tough for the Australians. But as the half wore on, Corey, they they asserted their dominance.
Yeah, without doubt. We spoke in the pre-game about the combinations, and they were starting to grow, and Harry Grant entered the field, and they looked a lot more fluent, particularly around that middle third, and off the back of that, they were able to find Angus Crichton. He's been terrific in that first half. He's had 60-odd run meters, a couple of tackle breaks. He's come up with a try, been real sort of menacing down that left-hand side, and they had a bit of possession back end of that first half, and they sort of started to look a lot better, and a bit of fatigue under the Fiji.
You're right, Greg made a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Coming off the bench, changed the whole momentum of the game and their attack with Australia. Australia, you're right, started slowly. The defence from Fiji was great to start the match off, but then just possession, weighted possession was too much.
Well, the Fijians can't afford to make errors, but they did make errors, and they gave Australia field position, which will continue to make it tough on them. And I think the longer the game goes, I think the second half, I can see Australia scoring another 5 tries in the second half.
Who wins and why?
Yeah, we said, look, Australia runs away with it now. Brandy had him by 40 at the start of the game.
He could be close.
Going 5 tries.
Could get there.
We're going to get to a break. Kick-off is next. The Aussies in complete control in this one. Can the Fijians come back? A huge mountain to climb. The Aussies in complete control.
It's full throttle, all guns blazing, and you don't have to stay up all night to see it. Every game live of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Don't miss a thing. On Fox Cricket.
Come on. How are we doing for time? Not great. Can we get any help?
I've messaged the guys.
And?
They've left me on scene.
No! With all due respect, Sarge, we need to make a decision. Okay. Let's back the 6. It's a last start winner. Lock and load?
Lock and load.
All right, we're on. Cover me.
Racing in the Manikato, Saboteur Excel beat the Mountain.
Watch Sky Racing live anywhere with Sportsbet.
Mount Everest, it calls us, begging to be conquered. So we climb. No matter how heavy the task, we continue to push, and whilst prying eyes wait to see us fall, we rise. And what we get is pure joy. Why seek the summit? Because we can.
The next gen Ford Everest.
Here's to the straggly ones. The first ones. The, hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red and grey ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The, I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Smart watches make life easy, smart homes make life easy. And now, smart pool cleaners make every Aussie pool easy to clean. Book a demonstration at mydolphin.com.au.
First day of a new business. Cue the anticipation. Cue the jumping nerves. Cue the final checks. Cue the morning rush. Cue Butterfingers. Cue the call to QBE.
Trusted by thousands of small Aussie businesses.
Cue the cavalry.
Cue the deep sigh of relief.
QBE Insurance. On cue for small business, before and after.
Every journey starts with a single movement. From starting steps to cross-country treks, to places of play and right through to finding better ways to work. From the equipment that keeps your daily life moving forward to the reason you want to be home. Fuchs Lubricants, moving your world.
Before the new season, watch every episode of the award-winning series.
Did you steal a car?
It's a truck.
Upright. Watch on demand.
Hey! Yeah, go.
Welcome back to the 2021 World Cup, and it's the Aussies taking on Fiji in Headingley. The Aussies in complete control. The Fijians started off great with the first try, but the class and the cream just rose to the top. In the second half, you'd have to say that the Fijians need to start like they did in the first.
Well, if they play field position, they had a lot of field position, but it seemed false, and they had a lot of trouble getting their rhythm, the Aussies. If they can get into a bit of a sort of set for set and then find their rhythm. Munster gets involved, had a quiet first half. Just saw Murray Tuolangi run back on the field, which is good news because he left the field in the first half. Jack Whiten came on into the centres, but yeah, I can see Australia dominating possession and field position and therefore the scoreline.
All right, big 40 minutes coming up for both teams. Let's get back out to the action.
They've felt the full force of Mal Meninga's Kangaroos henceforth, but this game is certainly not over, and if Fiji can maybe cut out the errors, Kevin Brown, then they might well have a good chance of jacking some more points.
Yeah, definitely. We'll cut out the errors and cut out the missed tackles. So I think 33 missed tackles in the first half for Fiji and 5 for...
So we're back underway. Australia 18 points to 4 up against Fiji.
One, move, burn, happy weight, go on.
So Harry Grant on to Carrigan, and Australia certainly showed us what they were about at the back end of that second half in particular. Maybe as Fiji tired, and both sides might have recharged their energy levels here. Kevin, how do you foresee this second half panning out?
Oh yeah, I just listened to, well, that's not going to help. I was just going to say I listened to what James Tedesco said at half-time just before he went in, and I think you could sense that there was a little bit of frustration. It's a little bit clunky. Errors like this have just stopped the flow of the game, and once again Angus Crichton just can't play the ball correctly and gives territory straight away to Fiji.
They'll take this gleefully. Coruscant moves it infield, and they'll pump it through Nakumbawai.
Go on.
Coruscant again sweeps it. Mothidreki drops it off onto Sadrungu. And the Fijians almost inside the red zone here. Out the back from Vuniyaua. Taruva. Plenty of promise about him.
Wait, Harry, step back. Step back.
Fiji
go free, nice and quick.
Into a position here from which they might be able to strike.
Surrender.
This is more like it for them. Coruscant. Short ball onto Nakumbawai. Australians right up in his grill, so to speak. Coruscant. Wakeham. Nice little kick. Tap back by an Australian hand that time. And leading the breakout, Harry Grant. They coped with that threat.
Yeah, they did. And just watching Cameron Murray defend. Defensively, he's everywhere across this field, especially the middle third of the field. Looking after any little offloads. Tying in on the inside. All the little things, the basics that you want from your loose forward, he's got.
Valentine Holmes had a sniff of a break on his agenda that time. Carrigan. They really are pummeling that middle channel, Australia.
Yeah, and I think that the lack of quality coming off the bench. Kamika, he's been out there a long time. They're going after that middle of the field now and then opening it up wide. Looking at Murray.
Last tackle here. Cherry Evans slings it forward. Taken neatly at the back by Makasivo, but no space afforded him to wriggle clear with the ball, and Australia trying to keep Fiji pinned in their own end of the field here.
That's a huge hit. This is great signs now for Australia, kicking into the corner. I think it was Cotto there who flew off his line.
Yeah, Sammy Belamy tried to find a chink in the Australians' armour, but there isn't one at the moment. Harry Grant tries to bend his back, dip the shoulder. Some brusque carries from the Fijians and some brusque defensive work from the Kangaroos. Last one here for Fiji. What about the kick from Mothidreki? And that's pumped downfield, and it's gathered in his own end of the field by Murray Taolangi. Let's go down to pitch side. Damien Johnson's got some news for us.
Yeah, just grabbed a quick word with Wise Katavarata, the assistant coach, is in charge in the absence of Joe Rambele. He's happy with Fiji's effort as Australia attack now.
They might well score here, and it's Latrell Mitchell who finishes off a searing break. Too quick even for you, Damien. What a finish that was. From Latrell Mitchell, they hit the short side Australia. They got so much pace, so much push. And Latrell Mitchell says thank you very much for his first Kangaroos try.
And you can trace that back from the great defensive display there in that last set from Australia. The pole kick from Mokadrike. And then Cameron Munster gets his hands on the balls. In the first half, he was quite quiet. He gets his hands on the ball, he goes through the line and he backs up. That's the key thing. He backs up Josh Adokar and Latrell Mitchell. Don't underestimate that skill at full pace there to switch the ball, hand off. You know, watch Cameron Munster, who's going to get the ball now. He switches the ball, gets the hand off, the one-arm pass with the left arm. Fantastic skill from a great player.
Well, Fiji caught Australia cold early in the first half. No repeat this time. The Kangaroos have come out all guns blazing with a try of slick precision.
1 minute.
And Valentine Holmes again given a favourable angle from which to kick as Latrell Mitchell angled his run back towards the posts. Bit of breathing space now for those in green and gold. Valentine Holmes ready to stroke this and to extend Australia's lead to 20 points. No problem whatsoever.
Not everything's gone perfect for Australia tonight, but one thing that's looked red hot is that left edge. Josh Adokar, Angus Crichton and Latrell Mitchell all on the score sheet, and you can put it down mostly to Cameron Munster. When he gets involved in the play, he's just so dangerous because he's such a running threat, and just, you know, how powerful he is when he carries the ball. Things open up for his passing game. You know, his kicking game is very good too. So I think that left edge for Australia is going to be real crucial in this tournament, and it's been fantastic tonight, Matt.
Yep, everybody knows where the threat comes from. Stopping it is another matter. As Fiji commit numbers, but Australia have the roll on here. Harry Grant has injected some pace into acting half since coming on for Ben Hunt. So Carrigan leading the charge. Let's go back down to Damien and see if we can get his thoughts in before Australia score another.
Well, I was just grabbing a quick word with the Fiji assistant coach at half-time. He said they need to cut out the errors, but it wasn't about errors really. It was fantastic play, wasn't it, for that Australia try. In terms of Mal Meninga, he just says complete the sets of 6 and play as you are.
Which is just what they've done at the start of this second half, and imposing their control and a bit of second phase here. Crichton, fifth and last, called by Kendall. Munster into that shape again. Little flick back inside. Surely somebody's got to finish this off.
They were getting in each other's way, Matt. It looked like Cameron Munster was going to score. That left edge again, it's red hot. I love the way he plays. He's disgusted that he's not scored the try. But it's just a patient approach, and it looks really simple. But he's scheming behind the ruck all the time, looking for that quick play of the ball, looking for numbers. It was a great kick. It just didn't get the bounce. He just didn't get the bounce up.
Well, they were all there, weren't they, on the scene? Nobody could get the ball down and kick out. In the end, was able to pat it behind. So, short drop out attempted. Fiji are going to get the ball back here, are they? Yes, they are. Kamikamica comes up with it. And that's a welcome boost for them. Or Tedesco tried to rip it from Buniaiwa.
Kickout's in trouble. I think there's a head clash in the back play. When they all went up for the ball, Matt, there was a head clash. We see Kickout there on the floor.
You can if you want to.
It didn't look good. There was a lot of bodies in the way. It's a great kick by Happy Coruscant.
They went the 10, which is always the toughest ask, isn't it? But as you say, the colliding of the bodies.
It's the heads.
Taruva.
Kick out. And it's the side of Kickout's head as well. And you know, the commitment from the Fiji players. No one's looking you know, self-preservation. They're all looking at the ball. They get the ball. Unfortunately, there's a couple of casualties in the back play.
Well, he will be key, Viliame Kikau, to any hopes of pulling back into this game. So much of a ball-running threat down that left edge.
It's a scrum, Fiji ball.
So, just looking for Viliame Kikau. Looks like he's going to... Is he heading to the sideline? He should be, and he certainly is. So as per the protocols, Viliame Kikau will go off for a head injury assessment, and Fiji will have a interchange added on here.
Go back from me, please. Thank you. Harry, come close.
So Fiji using one of their talisman, potentially for the whole game, potentially for the next game too.
It's his partner in crime, Kamiko, who's going to come back on. He's not long been off the field. Great stint in the first half. May have to finish this game now, Matt.
Yeah, he will come in, and one part of the scrum will finally pack down here.
Harry, get close, mate, get close. You've got to be able to touch him. You've got to be able to touch him.
Fiji have the ball, and they got their reward, although at a cost. So Mothadriki feeding it, Coruscant pops it up. But Australia right into the teeth of that. Fiji attack once again. Relentless from those in green and gold at the moment. They're streaming forward. Crichton there, along with Murray trying to force an error. Coruscant waits as Wong resorts to his latest attempt to play the ball. Taruva is mobbed.
Some excellent line speed now from the Australians.
Yeah, really got the bit between their teeth, haven't they?
Just feel the intensity's just been raised, and the challenge in Fiji, can they go with them? At the moment, they can't.
Yeah, Kamikamitha trying to drag Fiji away from their line, but being held up in the tackle, it takes some felling. In fact, it'll be Wakeham who gets the kick away, and it's one that skews off the boot. Tedesco will leave that one for Josh Adokar. Not a lot of broken field for him. It was a decent chase in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, decent chase, probably sums it up well. There was 3 or 4 out the back play, and if they do want to, you know, contain this backfield of Australia, they need to get, you know, 10, 11 down there chasing as a line. Because as this game goes on and the fatigue sets in, you know, any gaps will be capitalised by players like this man, Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, as the game becomes stretched and players become fatigued, it is that back line which can come into play. Harry Grant picking off the back of that, sweeping infield to Murray, and then the ball held on to Carrigan. It comes loose. Knock on from the Australians here. Well, loose carry at the very least.
Yeah, and Cherry Evans just looks a bit frustrated. He's not seen much ball. It was Harry Grant who came up with the pass. Carrigan just drops the ball. It was a good call. It was Wakeham who got the defence in there. But Cherry Evans, you know, he's playing for a position in this World Cup up against Nathan Cleary, who's been one of the best players in the NRL this year, putting a huge amount of pressure on this ex-Australian captain. And at the minute, you know, he's having a quiet game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the danger is he tries to impose himself, tries too hard, and doesn't end up impressing as he would like. But Mike Acevo making some nuisance of himself at the ruck that time. Eventually he'll play it right. It's slugged in again by Fiji, but again Australia committed to it. Cameron Murray, great technique that time. Kumbuwai opened up to Wong, but it's steamroller stuff from Australia off the line here.
Go, Bree.
Into centre of field now with Nakumbuwai again. Coruscant patrolling, Fiji looking for an opening here against this watertight side. Leo Levave gets some good meters. Last one here for Fiji of the 6 tackles in their set. Wakeham sends it up. Tester in the corner for Adokar. Really good climb that time from Michele Vilakajapani.
Last tackle turnover.
But it's a turnover ball.
Yeah, and that looks like the most likeliest way they'll score another try. The first try came off a fantastic kick early on by Mokhadrike. And if they are going to get themselves back in, it looks like it'll be off some scraps off the back of a kick. No, at the minute, Australia's defence just looks solid all over the field. Not asking as many questions, Fiji now, as when Kickout was on the field in the first half. Leo Avave's took his role now on this left edge. Not quite as threatening.
So a few of the Australia players who are being rested after their grand final exports. The likes of Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo. Just a moment ago, they're watching on, knowing that a good win here tonight might just make their chances of getting in the squad difficult. Harry Grant looking for a 40-20 attempt here. Great kick. Ball on the string from Harry Grant.
He's been impressive since he's come on. I think he's really, sped the ruck up speed-wise, and then he's picked off a great kick there. We mentioned Ben Hunt, his kicking game at the start in the first half, how good that was, but they don't lose anything when Harry Grant comes on, as we see the 40-20 once again on the replay. Fantastic kick.
Yeah, behind his own 40, pitches inside the 20 and out. You get a tap where it went out, and that gives you great field position. And that's what Australia have got here. Grant finds Murray, short ball to Nanai. They're so wary of him. There were 3 in the picture. Stopping the Cowboys' bulldozer from making it way through. Murray. He engages again, sucking those defenders in. That might leave some gaps. Harry Grant skipping. Harry Grant opening up himself. What a solo score from Harry Grant. Drifted, straightened up, punched his way through, and Australia have some daylight here.
Well, the impetus that he's brought off the bench, if anything, he's turned the tempo up. And it was that left edge once again. I feel the threat from Cameron Munster. The defence were looking at him, and he just ran across the line there, Harry Grant, scheming away, and the ball in 2 hands. Yeah, and it's Brandon Wakeham who's looking. He's looking for the intercept. He's looking to stop the ball. His poor defence, when you look at it, the number 7 for Fiji, he jumps out the line. Harry Grant's too good for that, too smart. He hardly gets touched there. We can put that all down to Harry Grant. First of all, the 40-20, and then the presence of mind to get out of dummy half. Too smart, ball in 2 hands and get the ball down. Great try, great bit of play from that man on picture.
And it's interesting as he went across to tap hands with Cameron Munster. I think we can all guess what Cameron Munster was saying to him. That should have been mine.
Give me the ball.
Give me the ball. Well, he didn't, and he got it a try for himself there. But Cameron Munster, who's been close, hasn't he, tonight?
Oh, I think he's been terrific. And sometimes it's not what you do with the ball, it's what you do off the ball. And he's pushed on everything. He's pushed on everything. When he's got the ball, he's created stuff. So he's become a threat. And definitely the defenders for Fiji, are feeling that threat. They're trying to jump out the line. They're trying to knock the ball down. And that's leaving holes for the other players.
So Valentine Holmes, can he keep up his perfect record? Absolutely. Slotted with aplomb. And Australia pulling away now in ruthless fashion.
Yeah, and they just look much more composed now, Australia, in the attacking third of the field. When they get the shapes now, I think you can really tell that they've only played 4 games since 2017, because the longer this game goes, the continuity, the combinations are just looking much more fluent.
Well, we saw the Brains Trust Mal Meninga flanked by Adrian Lamb, the lead coach, former Queensland captain, and of course Michael Hagan, who won a premiership with Newcastle Knights. So plenty of coaching experience up in the box with Big Mal tonight. So Wakeham's kick fielded by Cherry Evans, and Ruben Cotter, who's absolutely thumped. And this is concern for Australia, concern for Ruben Cotter.
Yeah, concern for Kamika as well. He's gone after Ruben Cotter, and wow, head clash, and there's two boys there. Ruben Cotter, he's out before he hits the floor. He's got it all wrong there, Kamika. It's good footwork by Ruben Cotter, but ultimately it gets him into a little bit of trouble there.
Well, he is an aggressive front rower, isn't he, Ruben Cotter? That's his modus operandi, but yeah, that was a coming together.
Yeah, and there's no bigger collision than off the kickoff. That's one thing that Rugby League, over Rugby Union has, that big collision. I was asked today to describe the game differently, And the intensity, and it's collisions like that you just don't see in the Union game. You know, it's not a collision we want to see, but the impact, you know, regardless where they hit, the boys are doing that over and over again. On this occasion, it's head on head. You know, there's no malice in that. There's two players that should go off for an head injury assessment.
Yeah, Ruben Cotter being helped away from the field. He's walking it off, which is a promising sign, but he will undergo a head injury assessment, of course. Tui Kamikamica will follow suit as well. And so...
Stay on side! Stay on side!
Concern. So Jake Trebojevic back on to cover for Ruben Cotter.
Fiji really doing it tough now, Matt. They lost a couple against England. I think there was 3. You know, a guy ripped his pec, and you know they're doing it tough. And then Kamikamica and Viliami Kikau, they're 2 of the players that they've been looking to lead them through this World Cup. So they'll be hoping them 2 boys, especially, come through this okay.
Yeah, Joe Drondrelangi coming on to replace Tui Kamikamica. Both of the players involved in that collision going off at the moment. So Chris Kendall just trying to tidy up the scrum here. Both sides struggling to complete it. Eventually it comes out. Wong trying to hit that short side for Fiji. Big raps on this youngster. Australia, no respecter of reputations that time. Kumbuai tangles with the Australian defence, gets his side a penalty for offside.
Such a mobile middle unit with Trebojevic and Murray. Just defensively, Matt, everything that Fiji throw at him in the middle, you know, you just see them again there. They just hit hard, one low, one high, and they slow the play the ball down so much.
Yeah, Drondrelangi was halted that time. Similar opportunity now for Kingvini Iowa. As Coruscant sweeps it to Breakham, out the back to Muthadriki. Again, it's just so tenacious from Australia. The line speed so quick. Kumbuai passes on to Drondrelangi. And his space is eaten up quickly too. Coruscant plays short, looking to get Nakumbuai in a one-on-one, but Australia slide in, squeeze in. Last one here for Fiji. Shot the line. Oh, they almost picked it off through Murray Taulagi. Fiji will get the ball back here.
Yeah, they get the ball back, and they get very lucky that they're not getting the ball back, you know, behind their own sticks. Murray Taulagi there, a hair's breadth away from getting on that. No, it was a long ball, and Mokadriki knocks the ball backwards.
Yes, Matt. So there's a challenge here.
Well, he's definitely touched it. They must be asking for a knock-on first for Fiji, I'm guessing.
The ball goes back off Fiji at this point.
That's another clear
Then a knock-on from
decision for me. Unless I'm missing something, Matt, I'm not sure.
Challenge is unsuccessful.
The Aussies are going to get back from this.
Yeah, challenge unsuccessful. Chris Kendall confirms it. I think what we've all seen, but well, you know, if you want 26 points up, you might just take a captain's challenge like that one. But either way, Fiji get the scrum, and it's a little bit more duress for this Australian defence here.
Yeah, they just look so strong though, all over the field. Wakeham and Mokadriki just have been put under pressure before they can pass the ball. And I do believe it'll come off a kick if they can score a try.
So it's Wong with the settler. Coruscant just in dialogue with those big forwards winding up here. Drondrelangi edges his way to within a couple of metres of the sticks here. Coruscant throws a little double pump. Wakeham, nice hands here, Muthadriki. Oh, and Balami couldn't make it stick. So close there. They opened up the space.
They've done everything. Mika Sivo was just running. Well, he might be big and strong, but he wouldn't have needed any of that strength there. He'd have just walked over the line. It's great play by Wakeham. You know, Murray Taulagi flies in, and it's just one pass that's needed. Mokadriki couldn't come up with a pass that finds the winger. He hits the centre.
Let's go, boys.
Viliami can't bring it in and find his wing partner for the try.
So Fiji leave one out there, that's for sure. That was a big chance. So Valentine Holmes skipping on the outside. Harry Grant waiting in that play the ball. Arthur Drake putting himself about that time. Cherry Evans into Nanai, who's been escorted across field there by some of those Fijian defenders, eventually called out. Grant, little ball to Tedesco, nice little pass on to Valentine Holmes. Is there any space being afforded? They're going to have to work it themselves here. Grant into Murray. This is beautiful shape from Australia. Oh, the gap's opening up for Crichton. Last one here for Australia. Kangaroos pouring forward with real belief now. Clever little kick into that far corner. He'll be chased and taken over the line by Fiji. Had to make it because Josh Adokar was lurking.
Well, they're really going through the gears now, Australia. It's a great kick at the end of a great set by Harry Grant. But the way that they're playing with the ball now from the right-hand edge and getting Cameron Murray, he's a very similar player for Australia as Victor Radley is for England. You know, he's that link between the forwards and the backs, Matt.
Tedesco onto Nanai, looking for another score here. Really smart footwork from a back rower. Chinking and driving that time. Grant finds Cherry Evans trying to unlock the defence with his Manly teammate Jake Trebojevic, who is stopped just short. Under pressure here. Grant swings one way and swings back the rest. Here comes Tedesco. Nice forward from James Tedesco. Has the skipper come up with the score? Yes, he has. James Tedesco, fleet of foot, sharp of mind, scorer of try, and Australia well and truly have their opening game in the bag.
Yeah, and that right there is just what makes him one of the best fullbacks, if not the best fullback in the world. He gets the ball and there's nothing really on, and Happy Coruscant's in front of him. Watch the number 9 for Fiji. He slides across and he just opens the gap. You know, Mokadriki goes out and Coruscant, because he's fatigued, he just can't shut that gap. The gap gets bigger, and the strength and the speed and the determination, Tedesco, that variation, because he's just gone pass, and then he's come off his right foot, too strong, the gap's too big. Try time.
James Tedesco gets the score. Try number 4 in green and gold for him in his Kangaroos career. Mal Meningus still fairly reserved about everything. Adrian Lamb looking a little happier to his left. Valentine Holmes with the chance to slot this. The Cowboys man, Premiership at Cronulla, went down to the NFL with the New York Jets. Back in Rugby League and enjoying his life and his football in Townsville. And here in Leeds tonight too. Many outside back threats for Australia as Holmes pops it through again. I thought he'd missed that, but it sailed through.
Yeah, he's struck them sweet tonight. He's not looked like missing one. Very important now as the tournament keeps going. Yeah, we see it once again. That gap between Mokadriki and Happy Coruscant, you just see him sliding on the floor there, Coruscant. But the tackles he's done in this game, he's already made 30 tackles, he's missed 7, and that's because of the work that they did in that first half, the pressure that Australia put them under. You know, it's just telling now. Australia going through the gears. I think there's a few more points in this, Matt.
Yeah, still a good quarter of the game, just under a quarter of the game to go. Carrigan rattles it in just as he did to great effect for Queensland in Origin.
Wait, go on, King.
Most of these players, there's plenty talked about inexperience in inverted commas of this Australia team, but so many of them have played Origin, so many of them have played in grand finals. It's only inexperience at the international level, and well, they're battle-hardened in other arenas. Grant drifting across field white in that time, just bringing Trebojevic into play. Now they're finding their groove, aren't they?
They are. And Harry Grant, I've been so impressed with him since he's come on. If there's anything quick he runs, his deception around the ruck, like he's just shown. You know, now he's finding Whiten with the ball. But anything, he's scheming around the ruck, and he just looks so dangerous. Once again, he takes off.
Here come Australia again. Oh, a kick from Cherry Evans has been pounced on by Motadrike. Timely interception, that one, Kevin.
Yeah, and I think this right edge of Australia just getting a little bit frustrated. The left edge, we mentioned Munster and his partners in crime over that side of the field. They're having a field day over there, but this right edge, they just can't seem to get that flow.
Ben Hunt is back on. Cameron Murray among those to make way. Australia just rotating their troops with the game in the bag. Fiji trying to throw something at them here and reduce the arrears.
Wait, Ben. Go.
Taruva with a fair dose of paint on his face at the moment. Good take at the back by Murray Taulagi. And Australia returning the ball with interest this time. But Fiji right into the teeth, right into faces. Viliami Kikau back on the field, by the way.
Yeah, what an inspirational guy. No, that's just what Fiji needed. The game is over at 36 points to 4, but you need your best players on the field, and he is definitely that. He's a big, impressionable guy. He's leading this side home.
Latrell Mitchell taking it into the Fiji line, making them work as he gains some yardage here. Crichton, big goose step there from Crichton as he ploughed his way forward. Penioni Takitangamua is on for Api Coruscant. Nanai, little flick pass out to his pal Murray Taulagi. That's a combination they've worked on in training.
Yeah, great little ball. He's a dangerous player in Nanai. Good feet, good offloads. Great skill for a back rower.
Jerry Evans finds Grant, who finds himself on the floor. Last one here still. Carrigan looking for an offload. And the Fijians ensure that his progress is halted and the set comes to an end.
Well, pride in the jersey for Fiji can't be questioned. Smarts at the end of sets and, a little bit of skill here and there, maybe so, but the passion and the pride that they're showing, the energy and endeavour, Kikau coming back on the field when he's, took such a big knock. They're putting a real stint in for this country tonight.
Yeah, Fiji, who have games, of course, against Italy and Scotland to come in Group B. Australia playing Scotland in Coventry. That one's live on the BBC next weekend, as are all 61 games in this World Cup. So Australia making Taruva work for yardage. Finish on halfway through Wakeham's kick, straight down the throat of Murray Taulagi, and he's straight back into the
yeah, it's another poor set. It's another poor kick, sorry, at the end of the set. Tuilangi catches the ball on the full, and now Josh Adokar gets Australia just up to over, just before the 50. So this is going to be another tough set for Fiji, and if they are going to do anything in this competition, they've got to be better at the end of the sets with the kicking game.
Cherry Evans drifting, finds Strabojevic, making some ground. Grant poised to take that into space here, and he's poked his nose through. Clever kick, Josh Adokar to get his second, and that is a magnificent score that brings up the 40.
We'll put that down to Aaron Grant again. He scored one. He's got out there and shoved a few tackles off, but it's the pace he explodes with to put him into that position. He spots it straight away, and Josh Adokar, he's no right being in the middle of the field. He's the left winger, popped up on the right side. And when he gets a sniff, the fox that they call him, Josh Adokar, number 9, finds his second try of the game. He's one of the players that all the kids over here love watching because he's got that X factor. But I think Harry Grant, he's been sensational tonight. As we see him jump out, a couple of tired defenders, but then to sum this up and put the kick in. When you've got someone at that pace and you put a foot race on with Kikau and Josh Adokar, Matt, there's only one winner.
It's the awareness, isn't it, as well, at full pelt, to just roll a kick with that precision.
It's the awareness and the execution at full pelt, and that's not really something that you see with most hookers, especially when they've got the speed. You often see some creative hookers. Cameron Smith, one of the best ever, he was creative, but he didn't have that pace. He didn't have the pace to go through like that. If he did, I think no one had been able to play against him. But Harry Grant is, he's really making a name for himself in Australia.
You can see the work that he's had, can't you, with Cameron Smith early in his career. Valentine Holmes then. It's a happy routine for him, this. Headingley celebrates as he whacks one in off the post. He just can't miss, can he?
He's just keeping himself entertained, I think. Great kicking game. And this is in danger of getting ugly now for Fiji. The trudging back and the body language has completely changed in the last 5 or 10 minutes. There's still a fair bit to go. 12 minutes, just under 12 minutes left. Well, they just need to make sure that they don't let this performance collapse and, sink in a load of points like Samoa did against England earlier on in the day.
Yeah, they're going to be fatigued. Australia are ensured that will be the case. 70 minutes almost on the clock. So Australia convincingly in front here. Let's go down to Damien at pitch height. He's got some news for us.
Just a very quick update actually on an injury to Reuben Cotter, the North Queensland Cowboy man who had a nasty clash of heads. He's had a head injury assessment. All the usual protocols were gone through and his race is run for the evening.
So no Reuben Cotter tonight, and protocol-wise no Reuben Cotter next week in Coventry against Scotland either. So Hunt finds Fasua Maliawi, and he's probably been sat on the bench thinking, I'm ready to get back out there. He
did 80 minutes work in the first 15 minutes. He took some ball in.
I'm going to... So Harry Grant with the ball might just be one of your candidates for man of the match, which I will be priming you for here. We'll get your thoughts on that man of the match in around about 5 minutes time, Kevin. That should be enough time for you to compose your thoughts. Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. So it's Fiji ball. Josh Adokar, who's had a remarkable game. Mal Meninga's cracked a smile. Clearly feeling a little bit more comfortable now.
Oh yeah, he'll be happy. I think the way it's probably exactly what you want in your first game for a while. It was a tough contest. It's been physical. They've been challenged. They went behind early, but then they found the groove, haven't they, Matt? They found the groove. Defensively, they've looked magnificent. One try off a kick very early in the piece, and apart from that, they've not really looked like conceding again.
So Nakumba wide that time. Here comes Leo Lavave. And Fiji edging closer to a decent position here. Penioni Tangituamua gets it onto Wakeham. Trailed up again by Sadrungu. They're in range here. Tangituamua, Mathidreke. Oh, shuddering hit there as Balemi came into the line. Fiji certainly throwing the kitchen sink here. Mathidreke, kick ricochets, squares up, nice little hands. Kamikamitha to Wong. Can they get the ball out wide? Nagama runs into a bit of a cul-de-sac that time, and the chance goes begging for Fiji.
Yeah, he run in circles then, and I think that was out of frustration. I think if he'd have gone the quick hands to his winger there, Mikasivo, it's Viliki Japani on that wing, he'd have had a chance, but he second guessed his skill and came back inside. But the defence from Australia has just been tenacious all night.
Yeah, they have been. It's savage at times. Off the line, belting opponents. Valentine Holmes looking for a little bit of space to work in here. Australia well and truly in their groove, opening up with a big win here. Tedesco takes some stopping, finds Holmes. Holmes trying to get on the outside now. They're finding gaps. Although the pass to Taolangi wasn't able to stick, and Fiji will get the ball back here.
Yeah, they're just playing out now. Fiji are out on the feet, just looking at the players. They've put so much effort in, and it's pretty cruel when you walk off the field and the scoreline reflects. It doesn't look like you've tried hard, it doesn't look like you've put all that effort in, but they have tonight. They've just come up against a really good Australia side. A little bit rusty at the start of the game, Australia man, but yeah, they're really getting into the groove now.
So Brandon Wakeup feeds the ball into the scrum. It'll come out to Makazimo, who stood first receiver off that set piece and gets his side of penalty offside, and it's a differential penalty here. So, I mean, they wouldn't kick for goal from there anyway, but they can't as the ball goes to touch.
Well, let's not spoil, fellas.
So, scrum-based penalty. Tap that time by Valemi. Mothidriki moves it on, and it's the ever-dependable Kami Kamitha who will be feeling those bruises, but he's worked so hard.
He's got hold of it. Go on.
So it's Tangi Tuimua. Tangi Tuimua.
Go to.
Finds the Kumbuwai. Out the back. Oh, bell ringer. Oh, Nana brought him down a little.
That didn't look good, Matt.
Awkward.
Yeah, that didn't look good. There was no malice in it, but no, it's a tip tackle, and that looked ugly from the start. It looked like he was going to crack him, and he did, and he picked his feet off the floor. See on the replay now, Brandon Wakins picked up and dropped. Luckily, it didn't go any further for both players, I believe.
Yeah, Nanai, it's one of those, isn't he? Try and hit under the ball, but he's lifted him at the same time.
Yeah, he's been good tonight, Nanai. Lost his copybook a little bit there, but no, he's been fantastic all night, especially with the ball.
Leo Lavave, Fiji in range here. Can they add another score? Just for a bit of extra pride. Wakeham, Kikau. Bullocking stuff from him. Taken in by Tangi Tuimura again, as he just pops up the pass. Really stretching the Australians. Kikau. Again, really desperate defence from those in green and gold. They don't want to be breached again. Tangi Tuimura. Back to Wakeham. It's a clever kick. It's been snapped forward by Taruva. And Samir Taruva gets a try, which is greeted with cheers from all around Headingley. Fiji have been brave, and they get their reward for sticking in the contest. The game might have gone, but they'll enjoy that one.
Yeah, and Taruva, we said it might have needed a kick to unlock this defence. It needed two. It was the kick and then the kick on by Taruva, and it looked like the ball wasn't going to bounce up. It's a fantastic kick by Wakeham. Fasimu Malawi can't get down for it, and he's just waiting patiently. And the biggest cheer of the night is for the Fijians because of the effort they put in. I think everyone realises, they've been beaten by a much better side, but they have put a lot of effort into this game. It's a good reward for that, Matt.
Yeah, nice football skills as well, wasn't it, from Samir Taruva? He's got a big future ahead of him. The Fijian fullback tonight, he's had to work hard. He's not had too much by way of attacking opportunities, just because the Australians have been so dominant, but there's a little sign of what lies ahead for a talented young player. So Brandon Wakeham, we're going to pop this one over. Just to rouse another cheer from around Headingley here. Despite some filthy conditions at times, the rain seems to have subsided, thankfully. So Brandon Wakeham has pulled it wide of the target. But that's two scores for Fiji and two big moments that their players can remember.
Yeah, and they'll remember that, and it was two great kicks. That's just how good Australia have been defensively all night. There's a bit of lack of creativity in the halves for Fiji, but the reward there for Taruva, scores the try. He's worked hard all night.
So Australia kick off. Fiji received the ball at the back with the try scorer Samir Taruva. Kevin Brown, it's about that time we've had our player of the match announcement delayed, but who is your man? Who is your, should I say, player of the match, Kevin Brown?
Oh, it was difficult. I think Fasimu Malawi's been very good in the middle of the field. I think Angus Crichton on that left edge, and Josh Adokar obviously scoring two, and Harry Grant coming on. But for me, the player of the match, I just think he's that much involvement. His Cameron Munster, he's been fantastic. He got the one-on-one before that set him on the charge. His kicking game's been great all night, threatening, putting him in good positions, but just his overall threat when he has the ball. He's just looked really composed, really patient and really dangerous. For me, the player of the match, Cameron Munster.
So the Melbourne Storm half, who has rejected offers from the Dolphins to move away from Melbourne, where he has been such a key figure. Tedesco then takes the ball in backfield. Final couple of sets here in Australia. They'll be looking to finish with a flourish. As you say, the grand finalists will be back available for the Scotland game next weekend. But Melbourne England might have some selection headaches.
But the Scottish are made up that Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo and his teammates are back in the fold, because it's not been a bad 17 that's took the field tonight and gone through this good Fijian side.
Harry Grant pops it up to Murray Taulagi, who's coming off that touchline and really making ground. And clever offload away to Tedesco. Oh, the kick was on. Ball bounces loose.
Valentine Holmes was flying after the kick on this right wing, and it was Kiko again who just put his body in the way and blocked the kick.
Murray Taulagi took one of the chops for his trouble as well. There's Cameron Munster. There is the player of the match, and he gets his hair ruffled for good measure by his teammates. Classic team banter there.
Yeah, he's had a good game tonight. He'll be a big part of this. Charge for the next World Cup title if they can get it.
So under a minute to go. And Fiji will see out this one. Well beaten on the night. Plenty for the likes of Wise, Kati Verata and Brian McDermott, James Webster, obviously helping them in the absence of Joe Rabali. So best wishes to Joe Rabelli, by the way. I'm a Sheffield Eagles man. And Valentine Holmes showing that even at this stage of the game, there's no let up from the Kangaroos, who have been ruthless at times tonight, certainly after the break. They have stamped their control on this game. Final seconds then, the countdown on. Mike Asivo, Fiji looking for a score to finish the game with. And Chris Kendall calls this Australian opener to an end against the Fijians, who have been brave and gutsy. But in the end, Australia were a side in control, Kevin Brown.
Yeah, they were. I just thought defensively they were superb tonight. They looked very diligent, they looked very well organised, and the energy that they had in that second half, where they were flying off the line. Ruben Cotter, and then Harry Grant really sped the ruck up when he came off the bench. I thought the bench were fantastic tonight for Australia, and the effort that the Fijians just put in, they just couldn't go. Especially early on, they lost so much energy with the weight of possession leading for Australia. So yeah, it'll be a good night for Australia. They'll be happy with how they finished. There's a lot to work on, but I believe there's really good signs in this Australian side.
How important was it that they got off to a winning start here, particularly in the light of how England played today and the fact that they're going to be New Zealand and Tonga breathing down their necks later in the tournament?
Oh, it's massive. I think Australia just don't lose in the World Cup, do they? The last time they lost a game was, I think it was the final in 2008 to New Zealand. So yeah, regardless of how our boys are doing for England, Australia win games. Australia are the favourites, and rightly so. England are doing well. The other clubs are chasing, the other countries, are chasing Australia. But on this performance, they're still the favourites.
So Australia get the job done in the opening game of their World Cup campaign. Fiji Brave, second place is their target now. But Australia romp to the top of the group. Full time. Australia 42, Fiji 8.
Yes, a great start to the World Cup for the Aussies. Australia winning 42 points to 8. Not the perfect game by any means, but up against Fiji. And a slow start. Fiji put the first points on the board, but Australia, the class just rose to the top, didn't it, Brandy?
It did in the end, Braith. And you could see that at the back end of the first half. They scored a couple of late tries. Angus Crichton got one just before the break, and then they scored one pretty quickly into the second half. So 4 second half tries. They got to 40 points. They'll go back and think that there's a lot of things they can improve on. So the upside for the Aussies is that there's a lot of improvement in them, but they still won by 42 points, still put 7 tries on the Fijians, who were we thought that they'd start well. They're the former semi-finalists from the 2017 World Cup. So, and they've got some good players in their side. They've got a handful of NRL players, a couple of Penrith players. So we knew that they'd be physical and up front. They'd go for 20 minutes, but that was it. Australia's class in the end, showed the difference between the two sides, but there's a fair bit of upside for the Aussies.
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, 18 points to 4 in the first half. They were clunky to start. I mean, we spoke about the combinations and how that's going to look. The longer the tournament goes, the better the Australians will be. Now, they got the job done, 42 points to 8. 5 missed tackles for the game would certainly impress Mal Meninga in regards to the defensive side of things, but 15 errors. Not exactly what they need, but they got the job done. They looked easy. They did it with ease in that second half. But there's plenty of change still to come with that side. Obviously, all the grand final players weren't playing, so we'll wait and see what unfolds there. But I thought there were some really good performers. I thought Angus Crichton was terrific in the forwards. Addo Carr had his stamp on the game, Munster and the normal people, but Harry Grant off the bench.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Unbelievable off the bench. The way he was just able to change the momentum of the game. It'd be interesting to see if he starts on the bench the next game or whether he starts at the 9.
Munster did some great things in that second half. Very clever, but I'm with Corey. I thought Harry Grant was the difference. You could notice the difference in the service immediately when he came onto the field. And, I know it's the Queensland model of Ben Hunt starting and Harry Grant off the bench. I don't know if they stick with that.
But it still worked.
Yeah,
even though Harry was outstanding, maybe he doesn't have that impact if he starts.
Well, no, that could be right too, Braith. Yeah, that could be right. Ben Hunt's execution was a little off today, a couple of poor passes. Yeah. And I think that was the difference you noticed immediately. Now, in terms of working combinations, we'll have new players come in for the next game, you would think, in those positions that there is, positions up for grabs, the halves, the back rowers, possibly even the centres and the wingers. But, once you decide on who your best team is, do you then play that team so they can work combinations?
Well, the spotlight really was on DC and how he performed, in the number 7 role. How did you see his performance?